than the current apps in the market for a very specific audience. And that's really, really important. Because if we consider and if we try to compete with current apps in the same level of competition that they are already doing, we will simply be crushed by them. Because when we compare ourselves, and this is related to positioning. So if you say, hey, we are another CRM product, and we would like to help you and your sales team to join us and to buy from us or to subscribe to our app. The first thing that I will do, the decision maker inside of a company, I will say, okay, interesting, AIDA. I can compare with Salesforce, I can compare with HubSpot, I can compare with, let me get 10 different apps and softwares that I can compare yours with. And when I do that, when you guys, you don't set the level of competition and the right positioning, and you just say, hey, we are CRM that will help your sales team, this will make a very unfair competition. They will say, okay, do you integrate with our ERP? No, not really. All right, can you just consider other things such as the financial aspect, the HR management, also the strategy? And oh, no, we just have a very specific part of your sales process. And it's related to following the path, as this has mentioned, following the path of the lead. That's what we're doing. I would say, okay, that's interesting, but I have other alternatives that are more complete. And being complete is for companies, for big companies with big sales teams where the money is. It's very important that you integrate very well. It's very important that you are big enough, that you are comprehensive enough. So the first advice, the first recommendation would be something like, instead of competing with them, with these big CRM softwares and these big companies, is to find, and that's the mission of any startup who is just trying to compete with big companies, is to find a specific niche or a specific process that you can do much better than any other system in the market. And number two, a process that is so relevant and will help companies so much by saving their time, by saving their money, by reaching more goals, that companies would say, okay, it's a startup, it doesn't integrate, actually it's just an MVP, but it will help me so much with something that I'm trying to achieve for a long time, that I would even risk buying from them, that I would even risk building this parallel process in which I subscribe to AIDA, but I get a massive result. So what I'm saying in summary is that, and this is a question for you, like, I understand the sales team, you're trying to help them to follow the leads. Okay, we are moving towards the right thing, which is the goal, the company's goal. But how much better, and what is the value coming out of your app? Or in other words, what are the unique attributes that I can only find in AIDA that will produce to me, to my company, a huge and significant outcome? Is there any? And of course, this is a provocation to you, like, how is it different from other CRMs?
Yeah, I think that's the a question that you can answer, Eduardo. Your vision about the app.
Yeah, sure. So when we started, the the unique value proposition was making an app in which the final user, which is the the business that pays for advertisement. So this user can see in a very fast and easy way a dashboard of its campaigns in metrics, right? So they see the demographics, they see everything about their campaigns. And we show that information in a very easy way and cheap way. So our app was the cheapest one in the whole market, and also the most like friendly. So you don't have like to know very much about technology, because the business owner doesn't know about how to install anything. So it's an easy way and cheap way of knowing the demographics of your campaigns, of knowing the trends, everything. So that's when we started, right? So I saw the opportunity of also implementing on that we already have a CRM, right? Because now the final user, the business, will have information about their campaigns in an app in an easy way, and also now the app has a CRM, right? So uh, I get the information about the CRM, and I can also, with that information, make even better metrics, funnels, everything, right, from the app. Uh, as we were making interviews and get to know more about what our clients want, we saw a very big yeah, they need to control better their sales team, right? So we saw there was a lack of control of the sales team, and almost all the time the sales team was lazy, didn't make enough follow-up questions. um, they were lacking that, like that funnel sales, yeah, like a complete funnel. The sales team was lacking a complete funnel, right? So they didn't have the enough follow-up emails, the enough follow-up calls. They just yeah, so they didn't, yeah, so they didn't have like that complete funnel, right? So we started looking at that. We also look what else that every CRM is also very complicated. It's also very difficult for the sales team to implement in their team. And here in Mexico, it's also not that common to have a CRM, right? Um, Almost every CRM, as I said before, it's very complicated to install. It's very complicated. So our alternative is more about helping those, maybe not that big companies, because they already have a big uh, uh, sales team and a lot of capacitation team and everything, right? So they have money and resources. For small businesses, they don't have a CRM for small businesses. A very simple and cheap way of yeah, just like the metrics of my campaigns, also a very cheap and easy way of managing my sales team of two-person, right? So it's a small team. I don't need the whole HubSpot ecosystem. I don't need anything fancy. I need something that works in an easy way, so myself as a business owner have can see how my sales team is going and where in my funnel, if it is in the ad, if it is in the sales, where in my funnel am I making a mistake, so I can, as a business owner, see right away what I need to get better at, right? Where in the funnel it's the it's going wrong, right? I have the slowest conversion rate. So I think that's it. As I was talking, I was also like realizing that um, I think well, answering the question, right? Sorry. Our unique value proposition is an easy and simple way for small businesses to get to know where in their funnel are they do they need help to make more sales. That's it.
Cool. Thanks, Eduardo. Very clear, and also how you have thought about including things in your previous product. One important thing, or some important things for you to consider in the development of your app and the company as well. The first thing is just to be careful not adding more things or more features while we haven't validated the first set of features or value proposition. It's very common that, Alex, we were thinking about how to better manage campaigns, and then we thought, why not add in a CRM? And if I understood correctly, have you actually? I didn't understand. Have you simply took out the digital marketing uh, piece of it? Are you talking about just CRM for salespeople?
No, the app has both the CRM and the digital marketing metrics, all of that.
Okay, so this would be the first provocation, or another provocation that I had to you, that I have to you, which is the more features that we include in our app before validating it, before having a successful app, the more things that we include, like, okay, you know what, John, I'm telling you, or what I want to show you something that can help you with sales. And let me tell you about that, John. Pay attention. We have something that will help you to manage your digital campaigns. And you can easily visualize these campaigns, everything, the conversion rates and the people who were reached and how much you spent in your digital campaigns. Oh, interesting. Oh, just a minute, John. I also I'm also offering in the solution the CRM. So regarding your salespeople, when they are on the streets, they can include their metrics or their numbers, and the more you start explaining to me or adding features, the harder will be for John or anyone else to outline your product, to understand what your product exactly is. The more comprehensive, the more broad your product become, it will be it will take more time for me to digest what your product is, and it will definitely take more time for me to judge or to think and consider, do I need that? How will I use that? Why will I use that? And sometimes what we are looking for, which is a very specific problem that you solve in a magical way. If you start adding problems and features, I will start doubting that this is the right product for me. Because maybe John just wanted like a tool that will help him to manage his advertisements. Oh, that's it. That's what I need. I have my Facebook campaigns and Instagram campaigns, and you know what? It's all a mess. But when you say, hey, John, I also have this inside this tool, AIDA, you find the CRM, which is something that will help you manage your salespeople. But I don't have salespeople. Not sure. Another additional um, provocation regarding adding features is that what happens when there are companies that need the digital part but don't need the CRM, and vice versa? Who are you going to target your next marketing campaign? Oh, it has to be someone who needs both, Alex. Okay, so it's a small business that needs CRM, that needs digital marketing. We start to become very specific in that sense, which is not good. So that's my first provocation. I would search something and I would focus on something that, you know what, it's a CRM. Can you add the digital part later or vice versa? Yes, you can. You can do that. But first, validate the CRM or validate the digital market. Once you do that, you will say, you know what? We are the digital marketing company, the great startup that has launched AIDA. Oh, AIDA is awesome. And we are also launching a CRM now. Ah, that's interesting. That's cool because I already know the company. So that's my first provocation. Try to be in that sense, since it's too broad, it's too different, and you might have companies that need digital marketing, need CRM, not necessarily at the same time. I would consider uh, just narrowing down the value proposition. Does make sense to your current thoughts and previous discussions?
Yes, yes, it does make sense. I mean, um, the reason why we make the CRM and all of that was because of the feedback, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we received feedback from the client who bought the app at first, and that feedback show us that he wanted a CRM, right? He needed a CRM. So yes, I get what you're saying. To be more clear about the value proposition, if it is a CRM or if it is a digital marketing product, right? So yes, yes, I get what you're saying. So yeah, so I think we need to validate right now to validate because also what happens is that so if it is a digital product, um what I saw is that there is no real money beneficial yeah, so a money beneficial thing for the business, so they don't make like that decision of buying right now because there's no I don't know, they don't win any money by buying our app, right? It's only a very to see their metrics in an easier way, right? But they don't win money by buying our app. But if we make a better CRM, if we make their teams better by a CRM, they do get more money in their business. So that's another reason why we make the CRM, right? So the the decision makers can think about how they will win more money if they bought our app. So what do you think about that? Which is more important to focus Uh, on the digital marketing part, with which will show the business about their metrics. I mean, it's something necessary, but not that much to a decision maker, to the person who has the money. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a great question, and your intention, like when you decided to build this CRM, is clear and is genuine. What I mean is that, Alex, we are trying to help the business because obviously, if we make money for the business will pay us. There's just one caveat, one important point to be considered, which is if you consider customers' suggestion about what to build, this is going to be a mess. Like your next customer will say, you know what, the CRM is great, but if I could manage my finance, that would be gold for us. Because
Okay.
when we have a sale, we would love it to build an income statement right away. And you say, okay, why not build in an income statement? That's not so difficult. The sales come as an income and the revenue, and okay, that's easy. So here is your revenue. Oh, that's awesome. And how about managing the salespeople? Like really, just getting their salaries and bonuses. Okay. So we will start, and that's very common. I'm just bringing because that's very common. Your clients will start asking for features, and we tend to say, "Wow, that would be good. It's a clear evidence that they need that. So let's build it." But ideally, we should focus on problems. So every time, and this is very recurrent. That's a very recurrent advice. When a client comes up with a feature, it's always important to ask why they want this feature. What would they want with this feature? It's more important than asking, oh, and how would that feature be, and how. So if I tell you, you know what, Eduardo, it's great managing everything, it's so easy, but what's going to be really good? It's a CRM. Oh, a CRM. And how would a CRM help you? And why have you thought about the CRM in the first at first? What made you think? Oh, it's because really today it's very hard to manage the contacts. Or no, you know what? It's that my salespeople are not following the leads. So if I found a way for you to track your leads, would that help you? Oh yes, a lot. So we are not talking about the CRM, the feature, the product. We started talking about the problem and the need. The problem is that their leads are not being followed up. So maybe we can build something or consider something, or maybe just help them with anything related to that, but not building a whole CRM for them.
Right. Yet.
Sorry, go on. Make sense?
No, no, and no, nothing.
Okay, so that's the first thing that I always consider. Like, oh, I want that. Why don't you include more than one account per user, or more than one user per account? Oh, interesting. And how would that help you, Mary? It's because I have to go several ways there, and sometimes I'm not here. So I need to use another user. Okay, so the problem is that that the customers are not the best people to tell you about the product. They are definitely the best people to tell you about the problem. So when you think, okay, let's see which features my customers want, they don't know what they want, because they they generally they don't know what's possible. Sometimes they come with a solution that they have thought about, but they don't know the technical aspects of it. Maybe they are building something in their minds that it's 10,000 less effective than something that you guys, technical people, could have built. So essentially, in summary, your work is to take or extract the insights from your customers about problems and needs and gaps. So you can find something that, you know what, this gap, if we could solve this gap, it's something so valuable. It's something so amazing for them that we could get well paid for that, for sure. So when you think about Alex, we were thinking about CRM because we were thinking about where the money is. Okay, that's good. That's good. But I wouldn't consider the product, I would consider the problem. So when you tell me about CRM, I'll say, okay, there are a bunch of CRMs today, but what are the problems that customers still face when talking about CRMs? And you have mentioned to me like Alex, it's not easy. It's very complicated to implement. Okay. And I'm not talking, Alex, about big companies. I'm talking about small companies. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is that you have a hypothesis that small business owners, they cannot consume current CRMs because they are too complicated. That's their problems. They cannot manage their sales team. They cannot use the current CRMs because they are too complicated. So, Alex, I'm considering something that will solve this gap. And my provocation to you, of course, is not only to consider or trying to be more specific when I told you be less be don't be so comprehensive about features, etc. I'm also provoking you in the sense of understanding what kind of business owner. And I'm not saying small business owners, Alex. Okay, I'm pretty sure that not all business owners, small business owners, some of them won't care about your app because they don't have sales team. Oh, of course. Right. And what else? Oh, they should have probably between 2 and 10 people. What else? They should okay. Once, and that's my suggestion. Once you have made this exercise in trying to better define the ideal customer for your product, it will probably be related to a specific niche. You can tell me, Alex, small business owners who have as employees 2 to 10 salespeople, they need to follow the leads. Okay, who are them? They work in the pharmaceuticals company. They work for, I don't know, startups. They work for um, gym equipments. They work for what exactly is the niche that you're trying to serve? And just to finalize this part, which this should bring you to a specific or to a more specific value proposition. Like, hey, this is the best CRM for gym businesses or pharmaceutical businesses or XYZ businesses. Why would I be so specific, Alex? I want to serve everyone. Maybe you're thinking about that. I don't want to serve just gyms. Yes, but if you tell, hey, I'm serving your industry, my CRM is friendly and easy to use and is made for someone like you who owns a restaurant, a gym, uh, whatever, a library. I build a CRM exactly for you. This will sound like music for their ears. So let me understand. Does anything that I said make sense, or are you already thinking about that?
I mean, yes, it does make sense.
What are your thoughts?
I'm thinking. Wait. I'm thinking.
No, no problem. Think out loud. Think out loud. What are your concerns? What let's bring the discussion so we can get the most of it.
Well, I have questions. So yeah, focusing on a niche, very specific niches makes sense actually. So the variables are way less, so the MVP can be easier and makes things easier basically. But my question is like how we do that. For instance, um, we need to ally with a very specific business, or I know it's sort of hard to think about like what are the issues from managing sales within a gym or within a restaurant or within a pharmaceutical or I don't know, that kind of stuff. How do we answer those questions? What would you do?
Definitely, that's a great question, and we have a very straightforward way of doing that, which is first, you consider what you're trying to offer, your current value proposition, which I believe it's quite directed and clear. Like as Eduardo has mentioned and explained, small businesses who leads who have or that have sales teams, they need to follow up their leads. And I think this is something that Days has mentioned, which is um, they don't get the right following. So the first thing that I suggest you to do is to put everything that you're doing in front of you on the table, and you consider what kind of business relates the most with these things that we want to add, or what kind of business is is represented by being small or small companies that have sales teams, and for which companies following their leads means something truly valuable. That means once they have lost a lead, that may represent like losing a lot of money. What kind of business could be characterized by the things that you're trying to solve? It's an idea, Alex. I don't know. That again, that's even if you don't consider my idea right now for the product, which I definitely believe it's important. But let's suppose, Alex, whatever we are following with the, it's not for gyms, it's not for pharmaceuticals. It's a CRM for small businesses, sales teams. Okay. Now you need to promote your app. So I ask you, who are you going to target first? Oh, you're going to do the same exercise. Who are the what are the companies, etc., who needs that, who value this? So I prefer getting in front of these companies with something more specific that is considering exactly their needs than coming with a more generic product. And generic, I'm saying for small businesses, you are specific, don't get me wrong. It's not CRM for everyone, but I would be even in at this beginning, at this very beginning, I would try to be a little bit more specific. So once you tell me, Alex, you know what, we are selling for shoe stores. Yeah, we are doing great. Oh, really? Yes, AIDA is a success. We have built a product for them and they are loving it. That's awesome. Now you can expand. What is the very next industry or business type that is similar and that you could just expand a little bit more your product? So you can say, you know what, we've been selling for shoes companies for some time. Now, I don't know, now clothing stores. We can do the same for you. It follows the same logic. So my point is that at this very beginning, the MVP, try to concentrate in something more specific so you are well known by that. You are immediately recognized by that. Hey, these are the guys who build CRMs or digital marketing tools for this kind of companies. Okay, I'm this kind of company. I want to see. And then, my friend, the second part of your question is, okay, how do we know what to build in terms of more specific? I would go into interviews with these people. I would find these companies, and first you need to identify, but let's go back to gyms. It's gyms, Alex. We believe that our hypothesis here is they are very related, etc., etc. You go back to gyms and you try to understand the context in which the problem you're trying to solve happens. Like, Alex, they cannot follow their leads. That's a problem, and we are going to solve for them. Our hypothesis, they are gyms. That's the most promising market for our value proposition. Okay, talk to them. Then you talk, hey, Peter, you're a gym owner, right? Yes. Let me ask about how do you manage your sales team? Okay, and how do that? Do you what kind of challenges do you face? Oh, actually, it's pretty good. We are doing great, but it's hard to do this. It's hard to do that, and we don't have a problem. Actually, I sell things myself. Okay. Then during customer interviews, you go validating things or invalidating things, and you can tell me, Alex, gyms are not great because we have an envision, but they have this, and that. So we are pivoting or we are trying to focus on another niche. Or, Alex, gyms are great. Definitely, they are starving for this product, and we are moving on towards that direction. Sorry, I talked too much. I would like to hear your thoughts, Eric and Eduardo team as well.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. And actually, I would like to ask, Eduardo. He said that digital matter. Well, he was the digital marketing guy. At really many um, companies, but Eduardo, based on what Alex said, uh, which industries do you see, or industry really, do you see like the most struggling with uh, getting the lead into an actual sale? Because you have the experience. I'm not sure, but I think I've heard about the, how do you say, real estate industry, but uh, I don't want to be biased, and by that I mean to influence in your opinion. But yeah, do you have any idea on which industry would have the most value about like really converting the lead into a sale?
Let me think about it. Well, I think it depends not only on the niche, but on the size of the company. So if it is a real estate company, but it's a small company, it has a bad sales team. But if it is a big one, a big real estate company, it already has an implemented system and a lot of people in the company. So I think personally, it's more about the size of the company rather than on the niche. But yes, maybe there are some niches in which it's most common, right? I don't know, as I can think of. Uh,
Okay, well, so we need to,
let me think about it.
yeah, we need to like research for that. Okay. Yeah, but I think that's a good path uh, to focus on a very specific niche because it is easier to validate everything. How do we balance? Yeah. So well, Alex, you mentioned about talking with the actual people. Um, my question is, okay. We actually on another project we have done a survey and got many questions answers, but we were like it's kind of clear which questions should we ask. So like conducting the interview um, in surveys, but for now interviews. Like, do you have any like how I'm not sure how to say it, but like path or any advice, or is there any documentation or something that we can follow so we can answer the right questions and um, so we can know better, uh, to get the most out of the interviews.
Yeah, actually, I have a session specifically for customer interviews. So I present like the mindset and the behaviors that you need to have in the customer interview, to get the best insights. Also, some questions that you can ask customers, and it can ignite a good conversation. I also have some prompts about how to reach those people. and how to capture notes. So everything is in a separate session that I have specific for that. Regarding the questions, that will depend on your market. Just one thing that I always say, and I always bring in these specific sessions about customer interviews, which is uh, there isn't really the right questions to be made from the very beginning. Like you will only learn about which questions will spark the best insights once you have made or done some interviews and you start noticing some patterns like, okay, why has Jim told me that? Oh, really? That's interesting. Oh, Mary told me that too. So maybe I should explore this specific question or topic because there is something interesting there that we could use in our product development. So just to have get a sense of right and wrong questions, that's very common too. Alex, I want to do the best questions. Right, everybody wants, but just notice that the best questions will be revealed. Some of the best questions, some are really obvious, but some of the best questions you will learn after doing one, two, three interviews, uh, and that's why you need to practice. Um, just related or regarding surveys, this is a very different exercise, so probably you already know, but in the customer interviews, we are trying to dive deeper, much deeper, into one person's perspective or point of view, so we can get interesting points and interesting problems that we can solve. The surveys are great as a quantitative tool to validate some points or some preferences. Okay, but when we are developing and creating or in the creation process, definitely they don't replace interviews, in-depth interviews with customers.
Okay. Okay. So basically, in user interviews, it gives you insights. So based on that, you can do further research. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Well, I just want to make clear what are your recommendations on our next steps. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, from what I can uh, think about this session is, well, first of all, we need to. Well, I'm not sure, but we talked about focusing on a very specific niche. Uh, so, well, basically, well, I know that the focus is on building an MVP, and you just also said that um, we also have faced the issue that people is not willing to change to our app. They say, "Oh, it's cool," but I'm not using it, so it is not.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if you say it is cool, it is useless for us. We need to actually use it. You to use it. There's only a few people that actually use. So, um, how do you say? So that the next thing we need to do is like to make very insanely easy for the people to actually use it, but based on the real value they are going to get. So the real value proposition is like to make it easy, blah blah blah. But people actually is kind of using it. They say it's cool, but they actually at the end of the day they are not using it daily. Uh, so we need to be more make the value uh, of the app um, that simple, So yeah, the value of the app that simple. But the question here is, okay, how do we get that simple thing that make the people actually say, oh, this is you like you said, this is startup whatever, but and it actually helps me. So the way to get there is basically user interviews and make all this research. That's uh, the next like step, right? Or what do you think?
Yeah, the very next step, the first thing that you must do is to get a good perspective, a very defined perspective of which your hypothesis is. That means, what is the valuable thing we are trying to build to whom?
To what?
Like, to whom?
Ah, okay.
Who are we, yeah, who are we trying to help? This needs to be better than CRM for everyone or CRM for small business. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's not sufficient to start testing, to start validating. Also, in this definition, again, I'm going to reinforce this is the first step. What are we building and to whom? Who exactly is going to benefit from it? Oh, and I mean being as specific as possible. So when you're talking that, okay, it's a small business with uh, 2 to 10 people in their sales team. Okay, can we find an industry, a type of business that fits quite well in this specific description? If yes, which probably is yes, uh, I would adopt that. So the definition of your hypothesis comes to, okay, you know what? There's an industry that would fit perfectly well, which is ABC. Okay, we build things for ABC. Okay, what else? Uh, we help them, and that's the second part that Eduardo brought, which is we help them to do something. We help these people, this ABC industry, to do something, something valuable. So the next question is, what is the value or the valuable thing that will allow people to do? What is the value coming out of it? And also, the third thing is how we do that. So, uh, what we do, and how. These would be the next three things about your hypothesis. Who you serve, ABC industry. Okay, what do you do for them in terms of value? What valuable stuff you bring to them? Oh, we help them to follow their leads. Is it something valuable? Yes, Alex, definitely, because they can save millions of dollars. Oh, cool. We can help them have a more beautiful, I don't know, report. Oh, it's beautiful. The visuals are great, Alex. Cool. Is this something valuable? Maybe. For some people, oh, it's cute. I'm not going to pay a cent for it. Or no, it's beautiful and I need to present to the directors of the company. So that's very important for me. That helps me a lot. Example. So, who are you going to serve? What value or what valuable thing you bring them? What valuable thing you allow them to do with your solution? And how? When I say how, and that's very important, I like when Eduardo brought Alex. This is something much easier, friendly, super friendly. So when you tell me about friendly stuff, you're also telling me about people who don't relate with technical aspects or background stuff, or something that is too technical. These are people who probably are not so involved in the sales process or sales systems or CRMs. I like when Eduardo brought like business owners. Yes, a business owner is someone who would really like something more friendly. A business owner is someone who would love to get his sales team following the leads right. I still don't know which kind of business owner, because not all business owner, not all CEO would care about it, but I would consider that. So, who you serve, what valuable thing your product allows them to do, and how you do that through each perspective. It's easy, it's fast, it's fancy, it's beautiful. These are the next things. Once you have the response, Alex, we built this for these people, and that's how we build it. Very specific, very clear how you produce value for these people. Now, the second step, go talk with these people and understand their context. Not trying to sell your solution yet, but to understand if you have envisioned is connected with their current processes and context. Step one, step two. Are they clear?
Yeah, so basically, the first thing is we envision that thing. The second thing is, okay, first, just talk with people, get to know them, context better. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm thinking. Okay. And let me just ask you about the first step. Do you have any
Sure.
guidance or any documentation on how to do this better?
I believe the best documentation or process would be the positioning framework. This is something that we have discussed quite a
Yeah.
bit in our previous session. So, as essentially, what you're doing is to define your positioning. This is a hypothesis. Like, Alex, I'm going to do this for these people and help them to do that. Okay, that's your positioning. We can discuss and we can do a first assessment, checking if your positioning is clear, is specific enough. But that's your positioning. This is something that, as I told you in the previous sessions, which I call the positioning framework, in which you get what you're trying to do, or what is the generic purpose of your tool. In this case, would be the CRM. What are the alternatives in the market? You kind of described, like there is HubSpot, there are other CRM tools. Um, what are the unique attributes or features of your tool, of your CRM? Oh, it's friendly, it's etc. Okay. The next part is, what is the value coming out of your feature? Like, okay, this is something more friendly, Alex. Okay, and in practical terms, what being friendly or more friendly, what can it do for me because it's friendly? It can help you cut the time of a person to learn, or hiring someone to deal with the system. Okay, saves me time, saves me money. And the last thing is, who will care the most about this value?
Hmm.
Like, okay, it's friendly and it saves time, or you can do that by yourself without a technical person. Okay, who cares about that? Big companies don't care about that. I have my team here. I don't care if it's friendly. I want it to be integrated. So when you think about someone who will uh, kill for this more friendly and saving time and saving money with another person, who he or she is. I can send you the framework. We can discuss it in another session as well. But essentially, I would do this exercise, this positioning, this hypothesis, what we're doing, to whom, how. This first definition, I would use this framework. I can send it to you again, and we can discuss as much as you want to.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember. Well, I remember that, but uh, I don't remember the content. Okay. Okay, so that's our next step, the positioning about the app, and also I would like to schedule later other meeting, but now with less people. Thais is the one who is in charge on on basically all the research. She is the UX researcher and the UI designer. So she will be like working closely with all of us, with you specifically,
Mm-hmm.
this early stage. And well, basically what I have to do is to guide her better. So I need to understand what should be done and that kind of stuff. So our next step is that, and later, yeah, we will. I would like to schedule this positioning thing better, but we are going to do the research as well, and also about the session to conduct better customer interviews. She is in touch with people about it, so we are going to. I want to schedule another meeting so we can learn from you. Okay, so I think we are clear. Dais, Eduardo, do you have any other questions? I don't
No, it's very clear. Very clear.
know. Okay, okay. And how about you, Eduardo? Do you have any other question?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, yeah, because it has already passed an hour quite quickly. Feels.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm, yeah. Just waiting for the positioning framework, and I'm going to send that back to you as well, Thais, so you can, well, on Monday, of course, start reading that and review, and
Yes.
also for you, Marcus, so you are aware about the next steps. So we do this like in a more diligent way, so we don't build like a bunch of features, so we unnecessarily complicate things. That's not a good way to go. Okay, so I think that's it. So I don't know. Maybe do you have? I would like to have another meeting about this same project next week, maybe on Friday as well. I don't know if that works for you, Alexander.
Yeah, I think Friday is great. Actually, 14. Yes, yes, would be perfect. Same time?
Um, Maybe if you can make it like this hour, so 1 hour later.
Oh yeah, no problem. I can do it earlier, but later is fine for me.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah. You can talk with Marco about the details if you need any further details. Yeah, just to uh, keep following up this. Now that you have a team, it's better. So we have a lot of time.
Def
Okay, that's
Definitely,
awesome.
definitely.
Okay, so I think that's it. Thank you a lot, Alexander. Thank you guys for attending. Today is our free day, so they are making the day for and actually um, coming here. So thank you guys. I hope you have good insights about this meeting and we have good next steps. All right. Well, thank you a lot.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much, guys.
you.
All right.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Alexandre.
Alexander.
Bye bye. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you.
You
My
too.
pleasure.
Bye bye.
Amazing.
See
Bye
you.
bye.
¿Qué rollo? ¿Qué rollo?
Dije, ay, ojalá que se vayan a conectar para echar chisme de la reunión.
Ya sé.
¿Quién va a
Oye,
venir? ¿Qué?
pues sí estaría bien, ¿verdad? Pero sí me interesaba que tú le cayeras. Qué bueno que te gusta echar chisme. Este, Pues básicamente, ¿cómo se dice?